Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Last Out Media and brought to you by www.15rounds.com, the worldwide leader in boxing news. Also, Abrams Boxing PR Media and Broadcasting, the industry standard for boxing media relations and play-by-play broadcasting. Also, check out www.abramsboxing.com, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, as well as M. Abrams Boxing on Twitter and Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching this. Marc Abrams joining us live in Nashville, Tennessee, where last night I broadcasted Country Box 5. Got the hat on, got some T-shirts and good stuff. Country Box is a series in Nashville, Tennessee. It's growing and growing every show. Got great fights. Even had an upset in our main event last night as we taped this, as Rafael Carolina defeated Kevin Torian, previously undefeated Kevin Torian, Nashville native. But we'll get in that in a little bit. We'll start off by going back a couple days to Atlantic City, New Jersey. I happen to be ringside to see the IBF interim welterweight champion Jaron Boots Ennis go to 31-0 with 28 knockouts as he scored a terrific 10th round stoppage over number 2 ranked Roymond Villa. Villa now 26-2, 24 knockouts. Took place at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. It was live on Showtime, headline Showtime Championship Boxing. Ennis beat down Villa, a tough Villa. Villa took a lot of hard shots throughout the fight, but he kept on coming. Actually, hit Ennis for the first time really in his career. Landed some good shots of his own, but Ennis just proved to be too skilled, too strong, too fast, too everything. As he is, I think he's definitely established himself as one of the best and most best up-and-coming young stars in the sport of boxing. And finally, in round 10, he just wilted Villa, who was bleeding from his nose. I think he broke his nose. A barrage of punches, a chopping left and a right hook, dropped Villa at and the fight was over at 127. So Ennis now, he's got some options. The fights between Crawford and Spence, he's lurking. I mean, he's definitely lurking. I actually asked him in the post-fight press conference, which you'll be able to see on Abrams Boxing on YouTube, will you be ringside on July 29th when Spence fight Crawford? Because his shadow is definitely lurking over those two. And he said, I will be there. So Jaron Boots Ennis goes to 31-0. Co-feature saw an upset. Middleweight Marquise Taylor, our guest from last week, goes to 15-1-2 as he defeated previously undefeated Yoelvis Gomez. Gomez now 6-1, 10-round unanimous decision. Taylor was he was very awkward and just landed punches, dropped Gomez in round 2 and came through with the victory. 96-93 on both cards, 99-90 for Mr. Marvelous Marquise Taylor. The opening bout on the Showtime triple header saw Edwin De Los Santos win a 10-round unanimous decision over Joseph Adorno in a lightweight fight. Before the cameras got rolling, good young heavyweight named Steven Torres, who's now 6-0-1 with 6 knockouts, stopped James Evans in a rematch of a draw. I had a chance to catch up with Steven Torres, and this is what it sounds. Steven Torres, big knockout win over James Evans here in Atlantic City. First of all, how good does it feel to redeem yourself from the draw with Evans?
It feels good. I went through a lot of things in the past year, a lot of things that stopped me and put me out the ring for a while, but I'm ready to get back, take over the heavyweight division and make a name for myself again.
Tell us what you saw. Tell us what you saw in there.
I saw a lot of openings, but my plan was to pick him apart with the jab, make him overcome it with the overhand right, and then attack, launch in the attack, and get him out of there. And I feel like I executed that very well.
You mentioned you've been out of the ring 19 months, 239. You look. I mean, I haven't seen you look like that. I mean, is that going to be the new normal for Steven Torres and maybe mid to high 230s?
Yes, sir. I actually didn't work out and I actually worked out and didn't eat breakfast, weigh in morning, so I weighed at 239. I came into the ring tonight about 254, 255. But yeah, this is the weight that I plan on keep fighting at, and I feel good. I'm in shape. I could have went 12 rounds tonight and more, but like I said, we're gonna go back to the gym Monday. We got sparring next week, and we're gonna keep working and getting better, continue to improve. Steven Double XL Torres. Remember the name?
Obviously, not a mark on you. Quick night. Obviously, it's not going to be 19 months again. How quickly we expect to get you back in there?
We're trying to get back into the ring as soon as possible. Trying to stay active and keep the ball rolling. Right now, I'm in shape. I'm ready, and whatever's next, I'm ready for it.
Well, congratulations. Very impressive performance. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
There you have it, Steven Torres, undefeated heavyweight with the victory at the second round stoppage over James Evans this past Saturday night as part of the Jaron Ennis Raymond Villa undercard in Atlantic City. Another fighter who was lurking around, and I just happened to bump into him, and world ranked, the number 2 ranked 130-pound fighter in the world, Prince Albert Bell, is a fighter who's with Top Rank. Had some performances. I mean, they let him go. He wasn't in exactly the most exciting fights, but he just kept winning, and he keeps climbing up the rankings. And he was around. I got a chance to talk to him to see. He's ranked number 2 in the world. When are we going to see him in a big fight? He's been fighting off TV in Ohio. So this is what it sounded like when I caught up with Prince Albert Bell, one of the top ranked, I believe number 2 by the WBC at 130 pounds.
My first time here. It's a beautiful place. I'm enjoying it.
So ever since you split from Top Rank, you've been fighting a little bit under the radar, still keeping a high ranking up there. What's been going on, and why do you feel these guys don't want to fight you at the top of the 130-pound division?
As far as how it's been going, been good. You know what I mean? I've been staying busy, knocking them off one at a time. I'm number 2 in the world behind Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez fighting Navarrete, so I automatically come number 1 by default right after that fight. I'm in line for the shot. But as far as no question as why they've inducted me, the proof is in the pudding. I feel like I'm the best fighter at 130 pounds. I've been feeling like that. I got a style they can't really deal with. I'm 6 foot tall. All the guys are 5'5", 5'6". It's a lot to deal with, you know what I mean? But
you mentioned Navarrete, Valdez, August 12th. You plan to be ringside in Arizona?
Absolutely. I'll be there front row, hopefully, you know what I mean? With my hands like this.
Is this one of these situations? You're like in a similar situation. We're here to watch Bruce fight tonight. None of the top guys want to fight him. He has to win interim titles and to force them to fight him.
Yeah.
Is that the way you're gonna have to force him as a mandatory?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like for him as well. You know what I mean? But everybody got their own process, and we just walking in. It's a curse and a blessing. You know what I mean? But eventually, every dog gets his day. The cream of the crop eventually rises to the top. So, let's just see how it all plays out. But I'm in line next, and hopefully I get my just due and get my title shot. Hopefully same for the Boots eventually.
Does it get a little frustrating, though, that these guys don't want to fight you?
Yeah, it did at first, but I'm kind of used to it now, you know what I mean? It's been a while now. At first, I used to be furious about it, but, I had to take the long route, the interns, the NABOs, and all that type of stuff, but now we're here, and I'm just happy, you know what I mean? I just hope I get my shot.
You're fighting August 12th, obviously, usually 4, 5, 6 months after. You plan to take another fight, or are you just going to...
No, I'm gonna take another fight. I'm one of them guys that don't sit around and wait for nothing. I make my opportunities, and hopefully they even force even more, put more pressure on them to stay active. And I'm gonna keep myself sharp, so when they do call, I'll be ready, and I won't have to get ready.
What do you want to say to the fans in closing before we see you in your next fight? What do you want to say to the fans out there?
Just keep following me, man. It's been a long time coming, but we're here, we're at the top, and I'm fighting for y'all. Keep supporting me, humble guys. Follow me on Instagram at Albert Prince Bell, and y'all see me real soon.
Well, he's getting his world title shot. Albert Bell, we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
There you have it, Prince Albert Bell looking for a world title shot, maybe by the end of 2023. Saturday night in San Antonio, Texas, Floyd Kid Austin Schofield went to 15-0. He scored a 10-round unanimous decision over Haskell Rhodes. Rhodes 28-5-1. That took place at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Schofield scored 2 knockdowns in round 7 and 1 in round 8. And Schofield fought through a bad cut under his left eye. It happened in round 9. Scores were 100-87 on all 3 cards. Schofield and Rhodes was moved to the main event on the DAZN card after some news came down Thursday. It's bad news. Virgil Ortiz had to withdraw, or I mean, depending who you talk about, he said his team says that they didn't pull out. They were, forced out by the doctor, as he had to not face Imantas Stanionis. That was, what was going to be a mouth-watering main event on Saturday night in San Antonio. Ortiz supposedly he fainted. He was hospitalized. There was rumors that he needed some mouth-to-mouth resuscitation from his father. Obviously, Stanionis has been battling a, uh, a disease called rhabdomyolysis. Excuse me if I pronounced it wrong. So that happened twice for this fight. Stanionis had to pull out due to an emergency appendectomy. So this is the third time that this fight. I don't think this fight's going to happen. I think we're going to do the old baseball rules: 3 strikes and you're out. Because I think they said that what the condition that Ortiz has may have to do with the way he's losing weight. So we may see Virgil Ortiz at 154 pounds, a loaded 154-pound division. He'll be, a nice welcome there to 154. Would love to see Ortiz, and maybe him and Ennis and some of the Crawfords and the Spences will get it on at the 154-pound division, rather than some of the rumored fights at 147 pounds that these guys that may have fought each other at. But the most important thing, we hope Virgil Ortiz Jr. gets healthy, and we'll figure out the boxing later. He gets healthy, and then once he's good enough, they figure out what's best for him in terms of his boxing career. Then we will continue to track the career of the undefeated Virgil Ortiz Jr. WBO Friday night in Mexico. WBO number 3 super middleweight Diego Pacheco went to 19-0, not just 16th knockouts. Stopped Manuel Gallegos 19-2-1 in round 4 of their fight in Monterrey, Mexico. It was a good fight. Both guys coming in with big records, good punchers. Pacheco dropped Gallegos with I believe it was a body shot. Got up, and then he was all over Gallegos. Time to stop was 2:45 for the 22-year-old emerging prospect turned contender Diego Pacheco. On the same card, WBC number 1 ranked super featherweight in the world, Eduardo Rocky Martinez with the 34-1 with 31 knockouts, as he scored a third round stoppage over Hector Garcia. Garcia took the fight on about a week, or maybe even less than a week's notice. Garcia now 20 wins, 8 losses, 4 knockouts. The action-packed fight while it lasted, and then round 2, Martinez hurt Garcia and finished him off with just a vicious combination in round 3. The ref stopped the fight as simultaneously as Garcia was going down. 25 seconds into round number 3. So Rocky Martinez looks like he should be getting a world title shot at some point soon. Former world champion, WBC number 2 ranked super bantamweight in the world, Luis Neri went to 35-1, scored his 27th knockouts as he stopped former world title challenger Froilan Saluder. Saluder now 33-1. Round 2 that took place in Metepec, Mexico. Fight was dropped. The fight was streamed live on ESPN Plus. Neri scored a knockdown in round 3. Dropped Saluder 3 knockdowns. In round 2, and the fight was called then. So Luis Neri will most likely be getting another big opportunity. Decent week Saturday night. Alicia Baumgartner will take on Christina Lenarto. That will be for Baumgartner's undisputed 130-pound world championships. Actually, a rematch of the only loss from Alicia Baumgartner. Lenarto, though, defeated her in Kentucky a few years back. So Baumgartner is not only looking to defend her title, get into a major fight, get into Katie Taylor and maybe Amanda Serrano conversation for some big fights there, but I think just as important to her is avenge her only defeat. So we look for that. That will take place in Baumgartner's adopted hometown of Detroit, Michigan, and that will be live on DAZN. Saturday night on Showtime, Frank Martin will take on Artem Hartunyanyan in a lightweight fight. Martin now, he's going to try to stamp his name into the middle of the lightweight division. That we have Tank Davis and all those the Devin Haney's, the Shakur Stevensons. Frank Martin says, "What about me?" So Saturday night he's going to, say, "What about me?" And I expect him to defeat the undefeated Ratu Yanyan. Also on the card, Nonito Donaire will take on Alexandro Santiago for a vacant bantamweight title fight. So we will see the ageless wonder Nonito Donaire look to again just keep adding to that first ballot Hall of Fame resume. And opening up the broadcast will be 140 pounders Elvis Rodriguez taking on former world champion Victor Postol. That's a kind of a crossroads fight in the sense that both guys need to win this fight. Postol probably needs it to, continue to get these Showtime type opportunities. Rodriguez, who has the one loss to Kenneth Sims, has to continue on the momentum he has reacquired since rejoining or joining the Premier Boxing Champions. The WBC, some news of the week, the WBC World Championship Committee, the WBO World Championship Committee, I can't even read my own writing, has ordered a purse bid between Arnold Barbosa and former world champion Jose Ramirez. The parties were granted 20 days to reach an agreement, or a purse bid will be at $150,000 as a minimum bid. Teofimo Lopez, who has said he is going to retire, is still officially the WBO junior welterweight champion. He has 24 hours to notify the WBO if he intends to keep the title. Otherwise, will become vacant, and the Ramirez-Barboza bout will determine the new champion. If Teofimo comes back, he will immediately if it comes back within a year, he will automatically become the mandatory challenger to the winner of Barbosa and Jose Ramirez. Undefeated WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou will fight on October 28th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to find out. I mean, they're calling it who is the baddest man on the planet. It's going to be a boxing match in a regulation boxing ring, 3 judges, 10-point must system. But yet, we don't know if it's going to go on the record. So that's still to be seen. I haven't heard one way or the other if this will be part of their go on their records. But I don't think it's going to be for the WBC championship. So Francis Ngannou definitely does not deserve to be fighting for a world title in boxing. The WBA Championship Committee's issued a new resolution, and they're going to be doing a July 21st purse bid, probably like the 12th purse bid. I was actually at one of the purse bids at the WBA convention between super champion Thamaroon Nyamtrong and Eric Rosa. They've been signed and sealed the fight several times. People can't get in the countries. Fight's not happening, yada, yada, yada. So let's hope Nyamtrong and Rosa finally get it on to crown a full WBA minimum weight champion. Thompson Boxing's founded by the late Ken Thompson will put on its last card on July 24th. Kind of a sad day in boxing. My good friend Alex Campanovo, who's basically run the company in terms of the boxing division, a great boxing guy. They've developed world champions, Tim Bradley, fighters like Josecito Lopez, Mauricio Herrera, many others have come out of that boxing program, the Thompson Boxing, that have catapulted them into to world champions, world renowned names. Also, they've had a lot of great fights between fighters in Southern California. A lot of good Hispanic fighters have come off of that series. It's a shame that series is going to end on July 21st after 23 years. It's sad. Alex, like I say, is my good friend. Hashtag Alex, if you're watching this, it's an inside joke that me and have. But he'll land on his feet. He's one of the best boxing guys out there. So the final show will have Pit Louis Lopez 13-2-1 against an opponent to be named later, as well as George Acosta 15-1 will also fight an opponent to be named later in a super featherweight contest. WBA, IBF, WBO heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk, 20-13 knockouts, will defend his fight the belts against the WBA regular champion Daniel Dubois. 19-1, 18 knockouts. That will take place in Warklaw, Poland. K2 Promotions won the purse bid, and Poland, which is right next to the Ukraine, obviously with everything going on in the Ukraine, pretty tough to stage a world championship or probably any type of athletic event, especially a world heavyweight title fight. So that fight will happen. An American streaming partner is yet to be named. So as soon as we get that information, we will pass that along. Undefeated lightweight Raymond Muratalla, 18-0, 15 knockouts, will be back in action as he takes on Diego Torres. I almost called Corrales. Diego Torres, 17-0, 16 knockouts. August 12th, that will be the co-feature for the Emmanuel Navarrete Oscar Valdez fight in Glendale, Arizona, the one that Albert Bell said he'd be ringside for. Olympic silver medalist Richard Torres and Willie Jake Jr. will also be part of the ESPN broadcast on August the 12th. Heavyweight rivals Anthony Joshua and Dillian White will meet in a rematch on August the 12th, be live on DAZN and the DAZN pay-per-view in United Kingdom and Ireland. Joshua 25-3 and White 29-3, 19 knockouts. 8 years ago, they almost they put on a terrific fight as they were both young pups in the boxing business. And now, obviously, with Joshua being a former multiple-time world champion, White's fought for the world title about a year and a half ago against Tyson Fury. So they will be back locking horns on August the 12th in the O2 Arena in London, England. Expect a good undercard as it's a pay-per-view event in, like we said, in Ireland and in England. That's our show this week. I want to thank Steven Torres and Albert Bell for stopping by next week. We're working on some big-name guests. Going to start to get some guys, hopefully for the Spence Terrence Crawford card on. Have a call into somebody, a big name guest. So hopefully within the next two shows, we will be having some big guests, and we will be in Las Vegas for the big fight card on July 29th. So again, I'd like to thank Steven Torres, Albert Bell. We'll talk to everyone next week on the Abrams Boxing Show.